Welcome back to the Pokemon Black No Experience postgame. Last time, we tracked down and arrested 4 out of the remaining 6 sages. Well, Getzis not included because, well, yeah, we're not going to be able to bring him to justice in this game. But anyway, there are 2 sages remaining, again, aside from the evil Overlord Dennis. And so, to reach our first one, we're going to be flying back to Nimbasa City. Yep, it's been a while since we've... Oh yeah, you're the one with Fly. It's Tornadus for some reason. I actually had a competitive Tornadus that in fact did use Fly, although it was only there because I couldn't use Skydrop in the tournament because it was banned then. It was just more for stalling purposes because it was more of a defensive one. It was kind of like a pseudo-protect in a way, even though I already use Protect. It was kind of a weird Tornadus. I mainly used it for Pranks to Tailwind, but that's enough of going off on a tangent. The reason why we're here is that our next destination is the Relic Castle. I was about to say Desert Ruins. Is the Relic Castle. And we actually have 3 things that we need to do there. Finding a sage is one of them. The second thing is the main reason we're actually heading there, and the reason why I've saved this particular sage until now is because something very important is at the Relic Castle. Now, I dodged a few of these trainers earlier on, so I'll need to try dodging them again. And oh wow, the bike is really slowed down by this sand. Ugh, so annoying. Anyway, we need to get off the bike here and run into a wild Pokemon first step. Go away, Sandile. You are completely insignificant to me. Yeah, I got a level 50 Reshiram. What do you think of that? So, yeah, due to recently watching Maryland's Pokemon Black Wedlock, he does complain an awful lot about the high encounter rate of this game. It's something that I'm realizing right now. Something that I never really noticed all that much when I was playing, because, well, granted, I need it because, I guess in a Nuzlocke you'd find it more annoying because you only need 1 encounter per route, whereas me doing this challenge, I need to actually catch quite a lot of Pokemon, so I'm glad of a high encounter rate. But anyway, I admit it can get annoying, but that's what repels are for. So, back into the Desert Resort. Blatant lies. Anyway, speaking of repels, let's use one now, and thankfully we have a doctor right here. We're going to make our way over to the Relic Castle. And once we get there, we'll find something kind of interesting. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Right here with these Darmanitans. They're still statues of Pokemon. That, spoilers, are Pokemon. Well, we already know that because I actually got one of them earlier. But we meet Professor Juniper. That's kind of surprising. Fancy seeing you out here. Been there, done that. Yeah, this is a little bit weird if, again, been there, done that. It's kind of a bit weird doing this, after, because if you've been in Icarus City in winter, then you will have already been able to awaken one of these earlier, so this conversation feels a little bit strange. Like, technically speaking, you're supposed to find out about these Darmanitans now, but apparently they were guarding an ancient city. And yes, once again, been there, done that. So, she will give you an extra Rage Candy Bar. And again, if you have been to Icarus City in winter during the course of your main adventure, you're actually able to get a Rage Candy Bar and awaken these things yourself. So, yeah, not really that much useful there. I already saw you back there. You gave me hidden power. Anyway, interesting fact about the Rage Candy Bar is it's in fact called a Rage Manju in Japanese, which is, I believe it's a kind of Japanese confectionery, and this actually isn't the first case where a manju has actually been localized as a more appropriate snack food in an English translation. If anyone has played Ace Attorney, they might have heard of, I think in the first game, they mentioned something like Samurai Dogs, or the Steel Samurai branded hot dogs. Those were manju in the Japanese version as well. Interestingly enough, they actually had to keep it as manju in one of the Ace Attorney mangas, only because, that thing directly showed them being eaten and they were clearly not hot dogs, so thankfully they did not pull a 4Kids there. But anyway, Anyway, what we need to do here is we have to make our way down to the area where we met up with Dennis talking to Alda originally. There's a new path here that we couldn't access before, and a new member of Team Plasma. Now, you'll want to get ready for this, because this guy can actually be quite tough if you're not expecting it. Yes, once again, we're going to have a Team Plasma battle. And I don't know why I put Egogi in the front of the party. I'm not sure if we actually battle him yet or not. Exclamation marks! Oh, we don't battle him. Okay, he's running away like a little coward. But anyway, though. Now, here's something that I wanted to show before using Repel. The wild Pokemon here are actually of higher level. And in fact, when you go further into this area, you'll actually start finding non-Unova native Pokemon. Dang it. Okay, yeah, I probably should have... Yeah, I'm going to use a Repel after this. I just want to show this. I believe you can find Crocorox, Coffagregus, and later on you'll start seeing Claydol. In fact, there's a room later on here that is only Claydol, which makes it very useful for grinding special defense effort points. I believe that's what they give. But let's just go ahead and use a Repel now, because I don't actually need to catch anything here, and I generally don't like having duplicates of... Wow, okay, Repels aren't actually going to be helping unless I put... Oh, speaking of non-Unova native Pokemon, here's a Sandslash. Kind of funny considering that Sandshrew and Sandslash can actually be found here in Black and White too. You know what, I want to put Reshiram at the head of the party because I don't think any of the wild Pokemon here are higher than level 50. As cool as a Sandslash would be, I am not, in fact, going to, yeah, I'm going to have to switch Reshiram to the front of the party, and I don't think I particularly need to catch a Sandslash here. As cool as one would be. Here's a random anecdote I have about Sandslash. Back in my 3rd generation days, I found a shiny Sandslash in the Battle Frontier. Yap, one of the Battle Frontier opponents, and actually not too long before he does battle us, okay. One of the Battle Frontier opponents actually used a shiny Sandslash on me. I also saw another shiny in the Battle Frontier once. I don't think actually, no, in 3rd generation I found a shiny Solrock in the wild on my Emerald and a shiny Meowth in my Fire Red. So I did find shinies in the wild there, so... Anyway. This guy has a very tough Crocodile, which is why I led with Egogi here to set up the Reflect, because this is going to be kind of helpful. It's also setting up Sandstorm, which is interesting. Of course, we've dealt with Crocodiles before, and Green Blade is pretty good unless this thing has X-Scissor. Please don't have X-Scissor. Please, please, please don't have X-Scissor. Let's just see. Foul play. Hi! Thanks for activating Justified. That's 2 Team Plasma grunts who've activated Justified so far. If only Justified got activated that much during the main story. Anyway. Oh wow, you're a moron! Okay, admittedly, Foul Play does get stronger every time you hit me, because for every time I activate Justified, Foul Play will hit me with my own attack boost, and because of that, I might have to get out now, actually. Oh, Outrage! That's bad. Very, very bad. Oh, you know, if it weren't for that Reflect, oh, Moxie, okay, that's really... See how I told you this guy could be pretty tough if you're not prepared? He's only got 1 Pokemon, which is good, but it's a pretty strong one, so you'll need to be careful. I mean, seriously, Outrage? And Foul Play, again. Foul Play okay, fortunately, he's locked into Outrage, and I still have a Reflect up, so hopefully I should be able to survive and finish him. There we go! Unfortunately, this means Virizion is KO'd, but Virizion is not going to be very useful for the other thing we need to do here anyway. And once again, classic line, Plasma! And I believe... Oh, by the way, yeah. I made sure to savor that victory theme for as long as possible, for I believe that's the last time we will ever hear the Team Plasma victory theme in this playthrough. Yep, sad, isn't it? And that's probably the last time we'll ever hear the Team Plasma battle theme, so, yep, looks like, that is it. The last Plasma Grunt certainly put up a fight, though. I mean, seriously, you'd think they'd put that guy on actual guard duty during the main game. But no. Yeah, evil teams are always incompetent for that, which should probably be thankful. Anyway, we're in a bit of a maze here, which is kind of annoying, so it's very difficult to find your way through this maze of twisting passages all alike, and yeah, it kind of loops around a lot. But after a bit of fumbling, we should make our way to our destination, which is a little bit further. Okay, things are starting to look a bit different here. Unless this is the way out. Please tell me this isn't the way out. And it's the way out, I think. Wait, is it? Is it? It is the way out, isn't it? Yeah, this is almost certainly the way out. Yeah, actually, it's about now that I realised this was the way out, and I decide to go back down again. Oh, bloody repel wore off. Yeah, this is the way out, so this is not quite the way we want to go. We do definitely want to go this way later on, and that's the third reason that we've come to the Relic Castle. But the second reason still... Actually, no, wait, we haven't even got to the first reason we came to the Relic Castle. That Plasma Grunt was just a distraction. The real... Oh, and I only just realised then we can actually bike in here, which is cool. Alright, I reckon it's through here a bit. Down here? Yeah, I didn't really know my way around here very well. I think that loops around back again. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while since I've actually been through this area, so, but eventually we should come across... I think that loops back around, so I think it's down. Please tell me I'm going the right way. I feel like Twitch plays Pokemon right here. Okay, right, we are where we need to go. Where you see all these pots and Sage Ryoku. Yes, Dennis has gone, thankfully. He was planning on catching a Pokemon that lies within this castle and presenting it to the evil Overlord Dennis. You didn't mind being used. Wow, you're weird. Oh no, please tell me this is another evil TM. Actually, no, this is TM Calm Mind, a very, very useful stat raising move that would have been really useful on Gothitelle before the Why do all the good TMs have to be post-game only? And we'll see another example of this very, very soon. But anyway, stop or I'll put a cap in ya. Okay, it's time to arrest yet another of the 7 sages. So, they're all going pretty quietly, except for Brodius, so... yeah, you don't really know that much. Oh, Wham Line! Yeah, well, before we already knew that it's possible that, that Dennis is Anne's father, but now we're not entirely sure. And that's something that will come up a bit, in the next game. But, anyway, there, I believe, is only one remaining. And they'll have to wait, because now, remember how this guy was talking about... oh yeah, and this room is the one that is all clay dolls, I believe. Look at this thing right here. This thing is the Pokemon that this guy planned to present to Getsus. And I'm very glad that he didn't, because this Pokemon is extremely powerful. But if I catch it, it'll be a very valuable ally to me in the post-game. And that's what I'm gonna do. This is the second thing we came here to do, and the main reason why we've come to the Relic Castle. It's time to get us a Volcarona. Annoyingly, Reshiram can't learn Calm Mind. Okay. Now, remember when I said catching and that's a weird cry. Remember when I said catching Volcarona is gonna be a huge aid to me during the post-game? You're about to see why. It's level 70. Yeah, level 70. It is actually one of the few wild Pokemon that comes anywhere close to... oh, Quiver-Dance. Okay, that's bad. Anywhere close to the level of the post-game trainers. The problem is, being level 70, and the fact that it's armed with Quiver-Dance, possibly the most broken stat-boosting move in the entire game. It is basically Dragon Dance for special moves, plus Calm Mind in the same attack. If you let this thing get a few Quiver-Dances off, it is going to sweep your party, so I was pretty much resigned that this thing would destroy me at least once. Not only that, but it has Silver Wind, and Silver Wind has a 10% chance of raising all your stats. So if it does get that off, plus Quiver Dance, we are seriously dead. We are deader than dead. We are deader than the deadest kind of dead you can ever be. But I do have backup here. Wow, you're stupid. And it missed anyway. Okay, that would have been 4 times resisted, so, wouldn't have mattered even if that did miss. But anyway, Heat Wave is still a pretty powerful move, though. You'll need to watch out for that. So, yeah. Now, at this point, I reckon I may have been tossing up using the Master Ball here. I haven't used my Master Ball yet, because I was saving it for this Volcarona, just in case it proved too difficult for me to catch on my own. Basically, you know, being level 70 and having boosts in, ridiculous stat boosts like that, yeah, I was a bit terrified of this thing, and it is totally capable of sweeping your team if you let it like that. Oh, that's bad. Bad. Yeah. You know what I just realized? It would probably be a good idea to lead with a taunt user and taunt it out of using Quiver Dance. That would actually be really useful here, and I'm really annoyed that I didn't think of something like that. Anyway, going for weaker moves here. Dragon Breath until I paralyze it. Hopefully making it easier to catch. It's not particularly that hard to catch in terms of catch rate, but it is very powerful, and okay, you're about to see how bad that... Okay, that much, even with a 4 times resistance, is insane! Also, extra sensory can flinch, so I'm going to go for a para-flinch strategy here. One more Dragon Breath just to take it down into the red. Oh wow, I'm getting insanely lucky here. Thankfully though, Reshiram is pretty much resistant to most of the things that Volcarona has. Let's go for the Timer Ball. Come on, Volky. Come on, Volky. One. After all that worry, I got a critical capture. Okay. Oh, wow, I forgot about that. Looks like I didn't have much of a chance to be worried after all. Again, if I was a bit less lucky there, I'm usually not lucky when it comes to Pokemon games. That was really weird. Critical capture then. Like, I really needed that critical capture. Anyway, I'm gonna name this thing Ignis. The reason being that Solaris is the more obvious nickname, but a lot of people have already used that. And besides, Solaris may have had an awesome boss theme, but really they were just a generic villain in a really, really bad and glitchy game, and the scene occurring right before is best not even talked about. Ugh. But, anyway, we got ourselves a Volcarona. Sadly, it is in our PC, so we're gonna have to go back and get it. See, okay, I don't know why now I keep making references to Twitch Plays Pokemon, but I keep thinking if this was Twitch Plays Pokemon, there'd probably be some kind of massacre trying to get the thing out of the PC, but it's really weird though. Like I find all the lore that comes out of Twitch Plays Pokemon really weird and hard to follow, but I do appreciate the fact that they actually have beaten several games, essentially via the monkeys and a typewriter method. Like, you gotta give them credit for that. That is amazing. The fact they've even managed to beat several of the games like that. And anyway, this time we are going to take this way out because it's time for the third thing. And this one's been a long time coming. You remember that time when we first came here, when the game royally trolled us with the prospect of a really good TM that we could not access until now? Well, it is at last time to get this TM once and for all, and finally put the developers' trolling to rest. Okay, we've been here before, we could not cross this tiny ledge. Oh, yes, and I was leaving the screen there because I was kind of celebrating there. Finally, we have Earthquake. Yep, we can only get Earthquake in the post-game. That thing is going to be very helpful to us, but, yeah, for the time being, we've captured one of the 7 Sages, we've caught ourselves a really good new Pokemon, and we've gained ourselves an amazing new TM. So, it's time to fly our way to Opelucid City, because there is one Sage remaining. However, he's actually in uncharted lands at this point. We actually won't be able to get to him for a little while. He'll be a bit later. So for now, it's time to prepare for our trek into Eastern Unova, the one area of the world we could not access before, and there's quite a lot of new stuff for us to be doing there. Yep, totally new territory for the post-game. Post-game only areas with many new, very strong wild Pokemon to catch, new trainers to fight. It's gonna be very awesome, I will tell you. But I want to just get something out of the way right now. Now, here's the way that I always take on Eastern Unova. I do it in route order. The route that leads out of Opelucid City that we couldn't get through before, that is Route 11, and so that's the next route in route order. I like to go that way. I like to go through there, go through the village bridge, get to Lacunosta Town, through the Giant Chasm area, down to Undella Town, through the next route, Black City, next route, Marvelous Bridge, that's it. And that's the order that I like to do things in. Now, a lot of walkthroughs that I've read online suggest going the opposite way, taking Marvelous Bridge first and heading to Black City. Now, the interesting thing about this is that Bianca actually said that she's heading for Black City right after you leave your house in the post-game. And, well, that seems to imply that the game itself is wanting you to go that way, which I find kind of interesting. And yeah, a lot of walkthroughs that I've read online, including Maryland's, recommend starting there. I've never done that, personally. Now, I understand why people who are anxious to get to transferring Pokemon from old games to start there, because that gets you to the Poké Transfer Lab the fastest. However, in this challenge, I can't transfer Pokemon from earlier games. That and, yeah, I mean, transferring Pokemon from earlier games is cool and all, but, well, I don't know. The thing is, I like to keep my, this game mostly to Unova native Pokemon. I just do, and I just don't like bringing in all Pokemon in. But anyway, let's check out our Volcarona. Hasty nature. That could be very useful. It is lowering my defense, but that speed boost could be very useful. Now, the really awesome thing about Volcarona, though, is it comes with this, Quiver Dance. Not just that, but apart from Silver Wind, its starting moveset is actually really good. In fact, you can get by through most of the post-game trainers just with its starting moveset if you replace Silver Wind with either Substitute or another move like Psychic or something. Now, Heat Wave you might want to replace with Flamethrower when it's available, just because against some of the post-game trainers, you really can't afford to miss with Heat Wave, and believe me, Heat Wave will screw you over when you least expect it, so yeah, kind of annoying that. But yes, as long as you get rid of Silver Wind, this moveset is actually a very good moveset, and that's part of the reason why Volcarona is so amazing in the post-game. It may be a little overpowered, but let's be honest, there's really no way that I'm taking on people like Cynthia or Alda without Volcarona. Believe me. They're all in the mid-70s, and honestly, like, the only wild Pokemon I could get apart from this Volcarona that's even anywhere close to that level is Kyurem, and Kyurem does have its fair share of issues when it comes to type weaknesses. I will be getting Kyurem, and I will probably be using Kyurem, and I want to give Kyurem some attention, because it's pretty underlooked most of the time. I mean, its design is an uber legendary, but it was even deemed UU by Smogon, I believe, or Borderline, I kind of forget. I think it got Borderline, because I think it was way too strong for UU, but definitely not OU. Most of that was just due to it being an Ice type, which is kind of sad. But I kind of want to give Kyurem some love once I get it, so I believe it is level 75, but anyway. Apart from that, there is the level 70 Landorus, which I can't get, because that requires trading to access. And there are a whole bunch of wild Pokemon that I can catch in the 60s, and I'll probably be relying on a few of those. But mainly, this Volcarona, Ignis, she's going to be carrying us through most of the post-game, so definitely, yeah, welcome Ignis to the team. You are going to be seeing a lot of her, believe me, a lot of her. And it's very convenient that Past Me kind of knew that I'd have to talk about a lot of stuff, and so put in a lot of pauses in this video. I'm not actually sure why Past Me was pausing a lot here, especially that Pokemon Center, but it gave me time to talk about this stuff. Speaking of more stuff to talk about, next time we will be starting our adventure into Eastern Unova, and in fact, I have not recorded that portion of the game yet. And that's where I would like to kind of do a bit of an experiment. Now that I have Fraps, I have a new method of recording from this game. I might want to try out a new method of recording here. It'll be different than this, but I think that maybe in the end it might be a bit more convenient to have the screens laid out in a different way. Now, annoyingly, like, I don't have Sony Vegas, and I would really like it because it would let me actually edit the screens the way a lot of people do and have the top screen really big but still have the bottom screen invisible. Oh man, I would love something like that, but unfortunately I just can't afford it. So what I'm gonna do is something that might make this look a little bit better, but it depends. So the next episode will be trying out a different recording method, and post whether you think it's better or worse than this, and after that, then yeah, I'll just take that into account, and maybe change up the way this is recorded from now on. Because I kind of want to make the top screen a little more visible for the planned Black 2 No Experience run. And now, the annoying thing here is I don't have Substitute, and I would very much love to teach that to Volcarona. Of course, that requires going to Twist Mountain in winter, so that might be a little while off. But until then, we have Ignis. I will see you next time for trying out a new recording method and going east. See you then.